Hey, I want to take a quick therapy break in between my therapy clients today because I want to address something. I've been wanting to address this for a while. One thing I hear often in therapy and something that I've dealt with personally, which is why I'm like, I want to go ahead and just do this video really quickly, is people assigning mental health diagnosis to family members without any actual clinical assessment. Things like she's bipolar, she's crazy. Let's talk about that. Mental health diagnoses are not insults, stigmas, gossip. They are not labels meant to explain every conflict, disagreement, boundary, or estrangement. As a therapist, I can tell you that diagnoses are based on patterns of symptoms, duration, severity, history, functioning, and clinical evaluation. They are used to guide people, not shame people. They are a collection of symptoms that together create a quote unquote diagnosis, which should be used to guide treatment. However, people who aren't in the field of mental health or who may have their own personal perceptions, honestly, who may have their own personal questions about their own, do a lot of transference and projection. As a person, I've experienced what happens when mental health labels get weaponized by people that I love, people the closest to me. I'm never obligated to say this. I've never had a bipolar diagnosis. I've heard rumors about me by people who haven't spoken to me in years. People who never picked up the phone to ask how I was doing. People who never sat down and had a conversation with me. People who simply accepted a narrative and repeated it. I hope that you are not one of those people in your own family systems. And that's why this conversation matters. A diagnosis should never be used as a substitute for communication. Someone reducing contact with you is not evidence of a bipolar disorder. Someone setting boundaries is not evidence of a bipolar disorder. Someone disagreeing with you is not evidence of a bipolar disorder. Someone healing, changing, or creating distance in unhealthy dynamics that perhaps lack accountability is not evidence of a bipolar disorder. Bipolar involves distinct episodes of depression and mania or hypomania that significantly affect mood, energy, sleep, behavior, and functioning. It is a serious mental health condition, not a synonym for someone behaving in a way that I don't seek to understand. The same thing happens with the word narcissist. Being selfish, immature, hurtful, manipulative, or difficult does not automatically means someone has narcissistic personality disorder. Traits and diagnosis are not the same thing. There are traits that can be spanned across multiple diagnoses, but they do not equate to diagnosis without certain criteria being met. The part that we don't talk about enough is that when people rush to diagnose others, they sometimes avoid asking the harder question. What role do I play in this relationship? What am I avoiding facing within myself? It's often easier to call someone mentally ill than it is to examine conflict, accountability, family patterns, hurt, boundaries, or unresolved issues. Now, I'm going to put an asterisk here, especially when it is a mother doing this or a parent doing this to a child. That is key red flag if we were in a clinical setting to examine that mother doing the labeling of the child. And if this was a true diagnosis, we are definitely looking at family patterns, and it's most likely that the mother has a diagnosis as well. If you are generally concerned about someone's mental health, approach them with compassion. If you're spreading rumors about their mental health, that's something entirely different. Mental health conditions deserve understanding and treatment. People deserve dignity and compassion, and diagnosis should never be used as family gossip. I say this, and I tell my clients or whoever's experienced this to say this to people. If you are worried enough to diagnose me, you should be worried enough to call me. Consult mental health professionals. Have compassion for those that you say you love and care for. And as a licensed clinical therapist of 20 years, I make sure, although I have my concerns, that ethically I would never do something like this as an insult. And for those who are experiencing this, I want you to know you deserve to be heard. You deserve to be understood. It definitely is okay for you to create distance. Do what you need to do. And I send lots of love out to you and others who may experience this. And I send healing for all of our families and all of our dynamics. Y'all have a wonderful day.